Maslow's need hierarchy theory of motivation is based on certain assumptions. What are those assumptions? That is also asked sometimes in the exams. It may be asked in 1 mark question, or it may be asked in 3 marks question. Basically, there are 4 assumptions on the basis of which his theory is based. And the first assumption says that behavior of the people is based on their needs. Satisfaction of need influences their behavior. According to Abraham Maslow, always Maslow's need hierarchy theory is based on need hierarchy. And Abraham Maslow has said that the behavior of the people, that is influenced because it is based on needs, and satisfaction of the need will certainly lead to change in behavior. From negative to positive, you will see a person changing if the need is satisfied. People's second assumption, people's need are in hierarchical order. He has given the order of needs, and he has said that people, they try to fulfill these needs in order. You may be having multiple needs. You may be feeling of different types of needs just now, but you will try to fulfill the needs always in this order. This is what Abraham Maslow has tried to explain. That first of all, you will go for your physiological, then you will go for safety, security, then you will go for affiliation, then you will go for self-esteem, and finally you will think about fulfilling your self-actualization needs. So he said that people's needs are in hierarchical order, starting from basic needs to other higher level needs. Second assumption. The third assumption, a satisfied need can no longer motivate a person. The same need cannot be, need satisfaction cannot be a motivator for a person. If I am having numerous needs at a time, and if my lower order need is fulfilled, that is not going to further motivate me, because there will be need for some other motivator to be provided to me to fulfill my other needs. So a satisfied need no longer motivates a person. Only next higher level need can motivate the person. This is what Maslow said. And fourth point, he said, a person moves to the next higher level of hierarchy only when the lower need is satisfied. These are the assumptions of Maslow. How far it is true or untrue is different, but he has based his need hierarchy theory on these assumptions. And he said that only after satisfying the lower, last point he has tried to explain, after satisfying the lower order needs, a person moves to the higher order needs. So on the basis of these 4 assumptions, he has tried to lay down his theory of motivation. But his theory of motivation, according to many of the researchers, lacks, you may say, authenticity, because they feel that practically there are so many limitations of this theory, and they have tried to criticize it. They have their own points of criticism. So we are going to focus on the criticism or the limitations of Maslow's need hierarchy theory. Basically, there may be a combination of question in which assumptions and criticism may be put in 3-4 marks and may be asked in the exam. So at least 2 points of criticism and 3 points of assumption has to be memorized, at least, by everyone. Now, when we talk about criticism, we see that the first criticism which has been posed is that Maslow's hierarchy of needs is not permanent. It changes according to situation. Some of the researchers have said that Maslow has based his need hierarchy theory of motivation, and he has said that always the sequence of need, in the sequence the needs have to be satisfied. But those who have criticized, they disagree with it, and they say that needs are not permanent, it changes according to situation. Second point, so this theory of Maslow and his assumptions doesn't lie true according to many psychologists and researchers. Second point says it is not necessary that the need of only one category be strong at a time and the remaining remains unimportant. Maslow has tried to base his assumption by saying that a person, unless and until he satisfies his lower order need, doesn't move to the higher order needs. Here the researchers disagree, and they say that it is not necessary that only needs of one category be stronger. There may be different types of needs which a person would like to fulfill at a time. So here also, according to the researchers, the theory of Maslow remains untrue. Third point says people may wish to satisfy many needs at a time, so needs can't be tightly compartmentalized as stated by Maslow. So we have seen that it's not possible to have only one category of need fulfilled at a time. There may be different categories of needs which a person may want to fulfill. So needs cannot be totally compartmentalized as Maslow has stated. On the basis of these three limitations, we can conclude that although this theory has limitations or criticisms according to the research findings or the researchers, but still we see that it is relevant, it is significant, because it is helpful in understanding human behavior in the organization even till today. This theory is in practice in the organization and in schools, colleges. We see that this theory is something which is taught in motivation. So with this, we have completed this topic today of motivation as the second element of directing. After this, we will be talking about the third element, and that is leadership. For today, that's enough. Let's stop. Thank you.